Top 10 Best Xbox Games 2021. Microsoft's console strategy is unique. Someone with a 7-year-old Xbox One has access to an almost identical library of games as the owner of a brand new Xbox Series X. That makes it difficult to maintain meaningfully different lists for its various consoles, at least for now. But while next-gen exclusives may be few and far between, with PS4 outselling Xbox One by a reported 2-to-1, there are a lot of gamers who simply haven't experienced much of what Microsoft has had to offer since the mid-10s. Number 10. Control. Take the weird Twin Peaks narrative of Alan Wake, smash it together with quantum breaks, frenetic powers, and gunplay, and you've got Control. Playing as a woman searching for her missing brother, you quickly learn there's a thin line between reality and the fantastical. It's catnip for anyone who grew up loving the X-Files and the supernatural. It's also a prime example of a studio working at their creative heights, both refining and evolving the open-world formula that's dominated games for the past decade. Number 9. Cuphead. Studio MDHR's Cuphead is as beautiful as it is challenging, and it's very beautiful. Half bullet hell shooter, half platformer, half classic boss rush. Wait, that's too many halves. Either way, Cuphead pulled in basically everyone with its charming, hand-drawn visuals that look like they're straight out of the 1930s. It then kept them around with a tough-as-nails gameplay which somehow never feels unfair. It has some of the most memorable boss fights you're ever likely to have. Calamara is our favorite, but what will stay with you the most is that feeling of finally beating the one you get stuck on 273 deaths later. Number 8. Forza Horizon 4. The Forza Horizon games have always played second fiddle to the main series, but in Forza Horizon 4, Playground Games made our favorite Forza game ever. Horizon 4 takes the arcade gameplay and open world of the series to Great Britain, exploring some of England, Scotland, and Wales's most beautiful landmarks. All the cars you'd expect are here, but perhaps the most interesting addition is the seasons. You see, the game's enormous map totally transforms with the time of year, and with it, so does the way the cars handle. There is a whole lot of game here, and all of it is very fun. Number 7. Gears 5. Gears 5 tries to be a lot of things and doesn't succeed at them all. If you're a Gears of War fan though, there's a lot to love here. The cover shooter gameplay the series helped pioneer feels great, and the campaign, while not narratively ambitious, is well paced and full of bombastic set pieces to keep you interested. As they stand, the various multiplayer modes are not great, but Gears 5 is worth it for the campaign alone. Number 6. NieR Automata. It took more than a while to get here, but NieR Automata finally arrived on Xbox One in the summer of 2018. And boy, was it worth the almost 18-month wait. NieR takes the razor-sharp combat of a Platinum Games title and puts it in a world crafted by everyone's favorite weirdo, Yoko Taro. Don't worry, you can mostly just run, gun, and slash your way through the game, but as you finish and finish and finish this one, you'll find yourself pulled into a truly special narrative, one that's never been done before and will probably never be done again. It's an unmissable experience, and one that feels all the more unique on Xbox, which has never had the best levels of support from Japanese developers. Number 5. Ori and the Blind Forest. Arriving at a time when Gears, Halo, Forza seemed to be the beginning, middle, and end of Microsoft's publishing plans, Ori and the Blind Forest was a triumph. It's a confident mash of the pixel-perfect platforming popularized by Super Meat Boy and the rich, unfolding worlds of Metroidvania games. You'll die hundreds of times exploring the titular forest, unlocking skills that allow you to reach new areas. It looks and sounds great, like Disney great, and its story, while fairly secondary to the experience, is interesting. Ori might not do much to push the boundaries of its genres, but everything it does so right. Its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, is very much more of everything, so if you like Blind Forest, it's well worth checking out too. Number 4. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the kind of game no one but Rockstar, the team behind the GTA series, could make. Only when a studio is this successful can it pour millions of dollars and development hours into a game. Rockstar's simulation of a crumbling frontier world is enthralling and serves as a perfect backdrop to an uncharacteristically measured story. While the studio's gameplay may not have moved massively forward, the writing and the characters of RDR2 will stay with you. Number 3. Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Village is delightful. It's a gothic fairy tale masquerading as a survival horror game. And while this represents a fresh vibe for the franchise, it's not an unwelcome evolution. The characters and enemies in Village are full of life, even when they're decidedly undead. And Capcom has put a delicious twist on the idea of vampires, werewolves, sea creatures, giants, and creepy dolls. The game retains its horror, puzzle, and action roots, and it has Umbrella Corporation's fingerprints all over it. It simply feels like developers had fun with this one, and so will you. Number 2. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice isn't just another Dark Souls game. From Software's Samurai Adventure is a departure from that well-established formula, replacing slow, weighty combat and gothic despair for stealth, grappling hooks, and swift swordplay. Oh, and while it's still a difficult game, it's a lot more accessible than Souls games. You can even pause it. The result of all these changes is something that's still instantly recognizable as a From Software title, but it's its own thing, and it's very good. And number 1, Yakuza: Like a Dragon. The 8th title in the mainline Yakuza saga takes an unusual turn, and that's saying something for a series that loves to get weird. Yakuza: Like a Dragon is no longer a roaming brawler, but a turn-based role-playing game, borrowing extremely liberally from formative RPGs like Dragon Quest and early Final Fantasy titles. Combining the violent, grim world of Yakuza with outlandish special attacks, costumes, and plenty of time to think through your next move shouldn't work, but it's like watching some kind of video game fusion cuisine. It does. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to The Daily Hit for more videos. See you on the next video.